We're continuing our look at each of the political groupings in the European Parliament here on The Brief from Brussels. This time, the Europe of Nations and Freedom Party, the anti-establishment and Eurosceptic group. You'll not see EU flags waving at a rally of French far-right leader Marine Le Pen. And while she's no longer leading the Europe of Nations and Freedom Party, it's her figurehead which remains for the European Parliament's smallest political group. It has just 36 members. They're calling for those who are angry to vote in EU elections.
À ceux aussi qui manifestent leur colère.
To everyone who's showing their anger, their will, their choice has a name. It's called voting. We promise to free the nations from a union which is suffocating them, takes their sovereignty away and harms their democracies. With 15 members, Marine Le Pen's French National Rally Party makes up the bulk of the group. They're propped up by 6 Italian MEPs from the League Party, which now shares power in the government in Rome. 4 Dutch members from the far-right Party of Freedom sit for the ENF. Austria also has 4 members sitting with them. There are 3 British MEPs and 2 Poles in the grouping, and there are single MEPs from both Belgium and Germany. Despite their relatively small seat number, the former advisor to Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, predicts an earthquake in this year's elections. Bannon has been actively courting both Le Pen and Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini. The Franco-Italian duo want their group to become the 3rd largest in the parliament. They see eye to eye on issues like rolling back multiculturalism, fighting socialism, and cracking down on migration. If in the elections the League, from the first party in Italy, becomes the first party in Europe, we will close the borders, not only in Italy but also in Europe. Full stop. We need your vote.
Però c'è bisogno di voi.
But their nations-first approach, which puts national interests above collective European ones, could make their populist partnership tricky, while their Kremlin connections are increasingly in the spotlight. A video showing Austria's Vice-Chancellor Heinz-Christian Strache from the ENF-affiliated Freedom Party touting government contracts to Russians forced him to resign just 1 week away from the European elections. And Salvini and Le Pen have been criticised for their stance on Russia and lack of transparency on their funding. The French wing of the ENF got caught misspending funds destined for parliamentary assistance, and the EU's General Court ordered them to repay the European Parliament €300,000 in 2018. But the group's co-leader says their party is the only one listening to the people.
Je crois que les institutions européennes doivent aujourd'hui entendre les peuples et s'engager à défendre enfin les intérêts vitaux de nos nations et de nos populations.
The faces of this group are hitting as many as 3 rallies every day as they try to drum up support in the elections. Controversially, even from the same balcony as Italy's fascist dictator Benito Mussolini spoke from. Their speeches may be persuading voters, but they'll also need to win over other mainstream right-wing politicians to sing from the same song sheet. We're continuing our look at each of the political groupings in the European Parliament here on The Brief from Brussels. This time, the Europe of Nations and Freedom Party, the anti-establishment and Eurosceptic group.